don't want to miss any points on this. And Kojo has been saying that when they finish telling us, we the women know, we will say they don't know what they are talking about. So I beg you, let us not say that.
All right, now listen, just before we get into this, let me remind you, you can now enjoy amazing hot deals just by owning an MTN Smart Feature phone. Get an MTN Smart Feature phone and enjoy 500 megabytes of free data every month for 6 months only on MTN. You too can experience a cool smartphone that has WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, Google Maps, a front camera, and of course, this allows you to capture all of your special moments and the memory that you need to store your data and other amazing features for just 150 Ghana cedis. Now that's a smartphone at a smart price. Go and get yourself the MTN smartphone from MTN shops and other retail outlets and browse like never before with 500 megabytes of free data for 6 months only on MTN. As they always like to say, we there for you. You know someone else who likes to say that?
Who says that?
This man over here. John Dumelo.
Kojo, do you need some quick cash?
Always.
Always, right? To sort out a few things. What if you're tired of the long talk and the hassle of paperwork to borrow at your bank? Worry no more. GT Bank's newly introduced Quick Credit has you covered. Now, this is what happens with Quick Credit. You can borrow up to 100% of your monthly salary instantly at only 2% interest rates for 30 days. Dial *737 *0#, select payday credit, agree to terms and conditions, and you're good to go. Contact GT Bank on 0302 611 560 or toll free on 0800 124 000 for more information. As usual, terms and conditions apply. Guaranteed Trust Bank, when you rather bank with us.
Now, with over 30 years in the stationery business, Kingdom Books and Stationery is now offering a 30-day credit facility with no interest, and they'll deliver free within Accra, Tema, and surrounding towns. So go to them at Usuakweje, University of Ghana campus. Kingdom Books are next near the Accra Sports Stadium, Tema on the main TDC junction, Kumasi on KNUSD campus, Cape Coast on UCC campus, and in Takrade at Fijai near the Teachers Hall. Call 0302-764-101 or 762-307, or just go to kingdomgh.com. Kingdom Books and Stationery Limited, your one-stop shop for all office essentials, stationery, and furniture.
And Casa Trasacco is packed with a new full range of exclusive furniture, the best Italian quality at unbeatable prices that will make you dance all the way home. You can visit our expansive showroom and feast your eyes on remarkable kitchens, rooms, bedrooms, dining, and sofa sets that will make any space beautifully unique and make you feel right at home. So don't waste any more time. Come and visit our showroom on the Spintex Road behind the Accra Mall. Share the good news and tell a friend to tell a friend. Casa Trasacco, a part of us all. Okay, so we're going to go right into the conversation. And Kojo told us about something very interesting just before we went on air about this list, Kojo. And more importantly, the conclusion of the list, which sets a very beautiful distance for this conversation. Do you want to start with the conclusion?
Yeah, why not? Okay.
Or should I remind you of the conclusion in case you...
By the way, let's say good morning first to our guests.
Yes, of course.
We're so honored to have them with us. It's such a pleasure to see you all. George Quaye needs really no introduction.
Yes. But we're expecting some realness from him this morning, and of course he'll make us laugh without effort.
No doubt. Now, of course, listen. Let's explain why we picked these fine gentlemen as our guests.
Very fine gentlemen. Apart from the fact that they're fine.
Indeed.
Yes.
Now, George is married, happily married man. Married to 4 women. Is that what he said? Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. 4 times happier than the average married man.
Yes, I think that's better.
And you see, George has lived a colorful life. Colorful. And he's lived it not in seclusion, but amongst some of the most prominent Ghanaians. And so, apart from his own experiences on his way down the aisle, he's also experienced other people's lives, and he brings all that together in a very rich tapestry of experience. Mpocho, I rehearsed this, so
right. Okay,
I
apologize.
Now, Elom Adabla.
Lomi.
Yes, El is one of my favorite Ghanaians.
Of course.
But the reason why I thought we would really learn from Elom is because he's an unrepentant bachelor. Many have tried. Many have tried.
You
know?
Is this why we are
So,
here?
so if you want to know how you are getting it wrong as a woman, I think Elom is an encyclopedia.
Right.
And John Dumelo. I feel like I should just say the name and that will explain
I
it.
think so, to John Dumelo, full stop.
Indeed. Just like George, John has lived a very
Colourful life.
eventful life. And recently married.
Yes.
John, of course, has learnt a lot from his past experiences and relationships, and he brings some reality to our conversation about the ways in which women got it wrong. So today, every woman who ever lost John Dumelo is about to find out why.
And of course, we also have Kojo Yankson. The reason we have Kojo Yankson is
Because I work
because he
here.
has lived a very colorful life and has a lot of experiences and a very long list, which he's going to share with us. Yes,
This
exactly.
list.
The details of.
All right, so let's get started. I happened to mention that in preparation for this conversation, I made a list. I wanted to understand the ways in which, in my personal life, women have got it wrong. So I thought, okay, so how did any woman who lost me, how did she lose me? So I made a list, first of all the relationships I'd been in, the serious relationships. It wasn't a very long list. And then I started to assign the reasons why the relationships failed. At the end of it, I realized that 60% of
You've reduced the number. I mean, what is that? You said 70%, Masa. You said 70%.
Give or take 10%. I realized that the majority of the reasons why my relationship ended actually were my fault. So I think that was the first thing I wanted to say here, that disclaimer that we're not suggesting that women are the ones who mess it up all the time. But we want to talk about the ways in which women do mess it up. Okay. So that's it.
Okay, we're going to start with Efia's story. And Efia's story is very relatable. As Esinam and I listened to it, we actually teared up at some point. Because I think that if you're a woman and you have been in relationships, you can definitely relate to parts of this story. So take a listen and then we will have the conversation on the back of that.
My name is Efia. I'm 38 years old, and over the past 10 years, I've been in 4 long-term relationships. It always starts the same way. We are in love. He can't get enough of me. I give him my time, my heart, my everything. And then he slowly starts to withdraw. He doesn't approach me as much. He doesn't want to talk as much. I'm constantly irritating him. It seems like his attention is elsewhere, And then he accuses me of nagging him, of always wanting more, and then his calls start being unreturned and everything just dies down. I mean, the thing that's frustrating, the excuse is always, it's not you, it's me, I'm busy, or I have so much going on. And then I'm just left there spending months trying to figure out where everything went wrong. I'm asking myself questions like, was I too affectionate? Did I want too much? Did I give too much? What mistakes did I make? Is it my fault?
Is it my fault? It's a question that so many women ask at the end of every relationship, or even when the relationship is not working. So let me start with you, George.
Why? Because shortest in front.
One now, kind.
This is perfect.
But let me start with you. I mean, listening to that, do you find that you can actually relate to it?
I've been fortunate. I had really just one serious relationship before I got married.
Joseph.
Really just one.
He said serious.
I mean, those that know my past know that story. I've been fortunate. I've been a good boy, and listening to the lady's story, it's when you speak to a lot of women, it's what they say all the time when things don't go well. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? And I think that is the genesis of the problem. When you accept a problem or when you blame yourself for something that did not go right, you've already shot yourself in the foot. You would never appreciate the true reason something happened. Because people usually don't look at the bigger picture. They don't analyze the issues in totality. People are always quick to either push or accept total blame. There's nothing wrong with accepting blame, but accepting blame does not mean you should lose sight of the real facts of the matter. When you go for relationship counseling, they will tell you to list. What do you like about him? List them. What don't you like about him? List them. Once you are able to list them, point them out. This I don't like, that I don't like. And you actually do start working on yourself first. And for a lot of women, I think that is where the problem is. A woman will tell you, I want this, I want that, I want that, I want that. Half the time, she's not given a quarter of what she's asking for.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
wow.
Knowledge dropped.
Preach.
make
No,
the volume go up small.
Go on, preach.
Make the volume go up small. Okay. No, seriously, you know, and when you speak to a lot of women, you get to realize they are telling you, and he's not doing it. I asked, okay, so you want him to do all that. What about you? What are you doing? And you realize that a lot of the times it is. A lot of women have come from the position of, oh yeah, when a man loves you, he has to love you by buying you the most expensive stuff, making sure you don't need or you don't want anything, making sure you're that, you're that, you're that. What about him? Men have needs too. There's this joke that goes around on Val's Day. Men writing, we're sick and tired of getting handkerchiefs and socks.
Yeah,
Val's
and
Day,
boxes.
And boxes
Yeah.
and all that, you know.
Whitechapel,
Men do
Whitechapel.
have needs too. No, seriously. Men are buying cars, men are buying houses, men are paying fees, men are paying rent, men are sorting out a lot of stuff and all that. I mean, I'm sure EL has recorded a couple of women for free, but recording is expensive. I can imagine the number of women John Dumelo has led to the silver screens and all that. You know, opportunities. Men are creating opportunities, paving ways. What are women also bringing to the table? Because men do have needs too. And the biggest problem for me is that women do take men for granted and assume that you are Captain Planet, so you don't need anything.
Wow.
You have it all already. That, for me, is the biggest problem, that women assume. After all, you're a man. Maybe you've met a rich man like Mr. Kojo Yankson, you know, or Mr. John Dumelo, or should I say future President Dumelo? Yeah, you know. Or should I say Grammy Award
Award-winning, yes.
No year to that one.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
That's a fact, you know. So you assume, he's done it all. He has it all. He's okay, you know. So it's okay. He doesn't need anything. But media, what can I give? He doesn't need anything. He has everything already. Big mistake. Men have needs too. And if women would pay attention, things might change.
Wow, well, men have needs too. And if women will pay attention, things might change. Thank you, George, for that. We're going to take the Joy Business Minute. When we come back, EL will tell us why, in the middle of that submission, he kept saying facts. Facts. I'm sure he has his story to tell as well. And we'll do that as soon as we come back from this. And going straight back into it, EL, you said that you agree with about 90% of what George said. So what's the 10% that you're not too keen on?
I think he mentioned something about women assuming that men would take the lead role in a relationship, which I think is fair to assume. But I think also in the context of the world in which we live in now, that notion is less and less the case. Personally, in my experience, I can only speak from my perspective and what I've gone through in a relationship, sphere. I think that most of the women that I come across personally have a lot more to offer in terms of career, in terms of what they bring in totality to a relationship. And so that's the small disagreement or the small discrepancy that I had with what George said. But like I said, 90% of the facts that he said were actually true.
Right. Okay. So what are some of the mistakes that you have found in your relationships that have just totally put
for
you
me personally, but this thing, I thought we said shortest in front. So as George go first,
Kojo should go second.
Kojo should go second, then John, then me.
Okay.
Yeah. So are we able to reach out?
Yes, sure. Kojo.
It's a mistake.
I mean, this one, they're no longer
yeah.
shortest in front.
Ha, la, la.
We're in a democracy.
I hope when we are sharing everything else, we'll share that way.
It depends on what we're sharing.
So mistakes women make. All right. For me, I think there is one thing that is just basically wrong with the structure of most relationships.
Okay.
Is the economics of it.
Okay.
So economics is all about demand and supply.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if there's more demand for something, then the price goes up, and the
Yeah.
supplier should be able to control, the price of the thing, because he's the one who has the scarce resource, and the person demanding it will, determine. So, for me, the thing I don't understand about relationships is that from puberty, women start dreaming about the big wedding and the marriage and all of that. That is what they pursue. That is what they seek. Men are socialized to pursue women, chase women.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, who wants marriage more, men or women?
Women.
Who wants children more, men or women?
Women.
Who wants commitment more, men or women?
Women.
So why are men chasing women?
So women should chase men.
Perhaps if it was, you see, it is the person who places the value on the relationship who determines what's important in it. So if a man is the one placing the value on the relationship and he's the one chasing, once he acquires it, he feels like it's his property and must treat it how he wants. So the things that matter to him are the things he pursues, or the things he does. They become the important things in the relationship. Maybe if women were pursuing more men, they could set the agenda. They could determine what happens in a relationship, so that it wouldn't be such a man's world where I want to be pampered and taken care of by my woman. And
But
this and
Kojo,
that.
is it not because women are pursuing men that there seems to be that deficit in terms of commitment?
Where are
because,
these women
hang
pursuing
hang
men?
on. Why you don't know where they are? Are they not pursuing you too?
Please, this panel is an
But
exception to
I'm
the
trying to
rule.
No, I mean, thank you. No, but Kojo, no, I'm saying that because you're saying that if women were pursuing men, then we would be able to determine the value or determine what happens in the relationship. But the thing is, it doesn't work like that because we are pursuing, there seems to be a deficit because we wanted more. And so the man then has more power to determine the value that he's placing on it.
Anymore, a woman starts to express the fact that she wants it more after the relationship is established, not before. That's when a woman starts showing how important it is to her after the relationship is established, not before.
Sorry, could you have you really fallen in love before, like crazy in love?
Kojo, have
met
you
this
really
girl that
fallen?
you're crazy about?
Yeah.
Really? Because
Absolutely.
I think when you meet that woman, look, when I met the woman I'm married to, things changed for me. I knew I wanted to have children. I knew I wanted commitment. I knew I wanted to settle. I knew this was the end of my life. There was nowhere else to go. You understand?
So she must have done something right.
Probably
Yeah.
did everything right. Ticked all the boxes.
If she hadn't, you wouldn't have felt that way.
Exactly. So the point I'm trying to make is that I'm speaking to your economics argument that isn't it more about meeting the right person or people doing the right things for each other? Because men would pursue, it's biblical, it's the way we were made. I listened to what Uncle Ebu said the other day about God, why did you make men this way?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a brilliant presentation. You understand? That's how we are. Men would naturally pursue, but it would take that woman to hold a man down.
So, I mean, in light of what Georgia says, John, let me come to you, because the thing that George is saying now is that if you are not the right woman, then regardless of what you do, you will not be the right woman.
Good morning to all my constituents. I beg I greet my people. Good morning to all my constituents in Ayawasu West Wagon. For those of you who don't know Ayawasu West Wagon, it's East Legon, Jolo, Abilinkwe, parts of Tesano, Legon, Gempa. We are working. Victory shall prevail.
And you'll get the invoice for about 15 seconds. Airtime to
So
campaign.
now your question again.
Well, I was saying,
Yes.
do you seriously want me to ask my question
yeah,
again? George said that
Yes.
when he met the right woman,
Yes.
it fell into place.
Yes.
So in terms of mistakes, if
Yes.
you're not the right woman from the beginning, does it mean that regardless of what you do right, you will not be the right woman?
Yeah.
So that it's not about mistakes anymore. It's really just about whether you're the right person or not.
Well, that's true. Well, I can agree and disagree, but
Okay.
the thing that happens is that sometimes women change. Women adapt to change, and so if you meet a certain woman who you think along the way is not right for you, you can tell her these are the things you're doing that I don't like, and she might change. And when she changes, that is when you can accept that, oh, okay, in fact, this woman is the right person for me. But at the end of the day, nobody's 100% perfect.
So when a man says, I don't like this thing that you are doing, you
Yeah.
need to change,
Yeah.
he really means
Yeah.
because we don't take it seriously.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. A past example, not
A
present
past
example. I beg. No, past example.
Clarify your
I always
timelines.
tell women that, look, what annoys me the most is when they accuse you of cheating and you know you've not done it. Yet they are saying that, oh, my instincts tell me that you've done it. That's what they bore me. Because I always say that, look, a man can wake up in the morning and go and cheat from 8 in the morning to 11 in the morning. Not necessarily in the night because he's come home late. But at the end of the day, don't accuse me when I haven't done anything. Because when you start accusing me every day I've done something, I would actually go and do it. So that when you're accusing me, I'll be smiling and I'll say that, yes, I've done it. And so when a man says, I don't like this thing, don't do it, he actually means it. Because you are gradually pushing him away. And that's how come gradually the guy will withdraw and withdraw and withdraw, and he will stop picking your calls and he will stop calling you because he said, don't do it, and you're still doing it. And so it's as simple as that. Men, I don't say we have a lot of women or we have a lot of choices to make.
You
but,
do have a lot of choice.
But
I mean, let's not run away from that.
women too have a lot of choices to make. At the end of the day, I know certain women who will say that, there are other men chasing me. So if you don't pull your weight, I can leave you and go and chase the other man. Sure, the people calling me and you, all those things. Everybody has choice. But at the end of the day, when a man says, Charlie, I don't like this thing, stop it. You just have to say, okay, I've heard. And then everything is okay.
And then you stop it.
How
How about the things you cannot stop? Because if you stopped, for example, they would be detrimental to the relationship. So,
Yes.
for example,
Yes.
communication,
Yes.
the way that I speak to you.
Yes.
Let's say we're having conversations about things that are important.
Yes.
You don't like long conversations. So you tell me.
Which I don't.
Okay, so then you
So
tell
you see,
me.
it's not communication that is wrong. Oh.
It is
it's
the long-
way
The
you are
long-
communicating.
yes.
It's the way you are communicating. Look, if you really want to get to the crux of this, and I welcome my brothers to disagree with me if they think I'm wrong, but if you really want to get to the crux of this, please, ladies, listen. If you want to know what your man really wants, he wants 3 things: food, sex, and silence.
Thank you.
I don't think that's fair.
Okay.
I
I will break it down.
I don't
I will
totally
break
agree
it
with
down.
that.
I don't
I will
totally
break
agree.
it down
Break
so
it down.
that
Let's-
you see if I've got it right. Okay. So food is not just about food, like cook food for me to eat.
Yeah.
It's about nourishing me, not just my
stomach.
my stomach, but my soul, feeding me. So what is it that I need? Do I need to be motivated? Do I need to be encouraged? Do I need somebody to bounce my ideas off to see if what I'm planning to do is right? Do I need somebody to just be there with me when I'm about to make a big move? This is what I mean when I say food.
It's the
Nourish
intangible
me.
things.
That's
Okay.
right. Nourish me.
And if you know how to cook too, it doesn't spoil
It
the
doesn't
matter.
spoil the matter at all. Sex is not just about intercourse, but it's about intimacy. Okay, food, sex, and silence.
And
so
silence.
I need somebody who
And
I can.
silence.
So, I'm coming to the
Okay.
silence. That's where the communication comes in. So the sex is about somebody with whom I can be intimate. I know that in this entire world, with this woman, I can be vulnerable. I can be myself. I can speak. I can speak from my soul to this woman. You have to be that woman for me. If you are not, I'll find it somewhere else. I might not end up cheating on you physically, but I might end up finding what I need from you from someone else. And that's the beginning of the end. Silence. Silence is about tranquility, peace. Unfortunately, the world thrusts big responsibilities onto the shoulders of men. We have to go out there and deal with this world and then come home. Of course, today many women have the same burden. Okay? But when we come home and the first thing that meets us is another set of problems, it makes life difficult. The home has to be the place where you escape from trouble. But when you come home and you are met with trouble, as soon as you walk in the door, hey, this is happening, you have to deal with your son, blah, blah, blah. You need an hour. An hour of not. It doesn't have to be silence, but just an hour to yourself where you can do something that you like to de-stress. So a woman who can give you tranquility, a woman to whom you can escape, That's what the silence means. And that's where the communication comes in. So yes, you have a million things you want to talk to your man about, but you understand that your man is carrying the migraine of the world.
Which
So
you're
all
also
your-
carrying, to be fair, because
Indeed.
both
So
of us
so
just go
how
to
does
work.
talking cure a migraine?
Because you know that the thing for women is that, and I'm
Uh-huh.
sure you guys have heard that the thing for women is that we deal with problems by talking through them.
Uh-huh.
And you guys deal with problems by going into the cave and doing your,
Yes.
I'm here. But
So
I'm
why
not
can't we
here.
do both? Give the man an hour in his cave.
Why can't you give me an hour and then you go into your cave? Because
Yeah,
I want to
but
sleep
it's about
early.
timing.
Oh, do you want your hour to be effective and useful or not? If you do, then let me have my silence
Okay,
first.
John, you're saying it's about timing. What
Yes,
does that mean?
I mean, look, just like what Kojo said, it's been a long day. You get home, and you relax. Let the guy relax. Let him fit into the house or the home. Give him like 30 minutes or an hour. Then you discuss certain things with him, or even wait till in the morning. But as soon as the guy gets home and you didn't, and I called and you didn't.
I think it's all good and fair. But at the same time, it was very highly contextual. I think relationships differ from different. I mean, in different parts of this world, relationships are very different. So, I agree with John. In certain settings, you coming home at a certain point in time, you need an hour. You need your to be in your den. You need your silence, your alone time. That's for certain people in this. But there are also parts of this world where you actually are mandated. It's your responsibility to actually deal with the problem at hand by sitting down and communicating. Personally, I like personal space. That's my thing.
We all do.
That's been the cause of most of my breakups. Is because
It's
the
personal
person
space.
didn't agree or the person didn't see why I needed to have my alone time.
How
you
much
know.
alone time is your alone time?
For me personally, I'm a hermit. Look, I live in Oyarifa. I live outside of all the noise, all the smoke, all the whatever that happens in Accra because I like that tranquility. So whoever who is going to be around me, whoever I'm going to add to my life has to understand that this guy has to have at least half of his day personal to him. I make music. It takes a certain kind
I
of
get
vibe.
that, yeah.
It takes a certain kind of vibe for you to be able to actually go into a studio to create something that people are going to appreciate. If you have the slightest bit of stress or any type of negativity within you, it won't work. So me as a creative, I need that personally.
You see, anymore, I think
Yes.
this is where the women will say men are selfish. Because I'm hearing us, but I'm hearing a lot about us. It is important. All they are saying, very true. Men need everything they are saying men need. I mean, I can't imagine getting home from work, already stressed day, and then you get home, and you are either getting a woman who's too loud or a woman who's too silent because she's giving you a silent treatment. That also happens. No man wants either, no matter what. But for me, the biggest problem is that a lot of women think their happiness, somebody has to be responsible for their happiness. And I think that's the beginning of a lot of relationships. Because if Inimwa and I are in a relationship, and Inimwa cannot on her own find a way to live her life independent of me, then we're going to have problems. Because look, we're from different backgrounds. We're brought up differently. We're only trying to make something work. I think people need, and I'm hearing all my brothers and what they're saying. I need my space. I need my space. I think really what we are saying is that everybody needs to develop a life. Look, I can spend the rest of my life sitting behind my laptop playing Scrabble online till God calls me at whatever age. All I need is food, drink. I can do that forever. Alone. It's online. I can do that. But I don't live alone. And I need to recognize that I don't live alone. But I think it would become a problem when somebody else begins to think that for me to be happy, you have to make me happy. Because you are my boyfriend, because you are my fiancé, or because you are my wife, or you are my husband, or you're this. Imagine if your boyfriend depended on you, and if you are not able to make time to maybe go shopping with him, or
I would be tired. It would be too
you don't
much.
make time
Yeah.
to go out, you don't make time to do that, you don't make, and then he's sad, and
The
then he's
pressure,
complaining, and
yeah,
all
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I think
and I
the
think
point
if people
is-
developed their own lives. Kojo, this weekend I'm going here. You have time? You wanna join me? Oh, okay. Don't worry. I'll send you pictures. I'll let you know how it goes. Trust me. A woman or a man would appreciate that kind of partner. A partner who is independent. That independence is important, and it it creates some confidence. You know that she's solid on her own. Because look, let's face it. I can walk out of here right now. A car might hit me across the street. I'm dead. You're alone. I think people need to stand on their feet and learn to live. Not that you're being selfish, but if you are able to take charge, take control of your own happiness and don't depend on someone to make you happy. That way, if someone comes, it will be complimentary. Yeah. And together,
I think that's one of the sexiest things you can ask of a woman. No man likes a clingy woman. A man who actually wants a woman who will come, lay it down, do what she's supposed to do, act in a certain kind of way whereby she's not overly needy. She's not needful of you to do this or to this, but she's confident within herself that if you are not able to do that, she's able to take the reins.
But gentlemen, can we acknowledge something? That perhaps part of the reason why women get to misunderstand us when it comes to this clinginess is because we mislead them. In the beginning, when we're starting a relationship with a woman, we have all the time in the world.
The campaign period.
But exactly. You see, so what we do is, look, we forfeit other things just to be with them because we consider it a project.
Yes.
Acquiring this relationship with this woman.
Yes.
So, so we will literally make sacrifices just to make sure that this relationship can happen.
Yeah.
And once it happens, then suddenly we start thinking, okay, now we're together. I can be me.
Yes.
Okay. So the person they met when you were courting them, that's your representative.
No.
That was your representative. The person you sent to sell the product.
That was the
now, the person you sent to sell the product. Now they meet the product. And then they start to realize that, okay, so it's not that you are not on tap. You're not available and around them. You're not a blanket. You are more like the air conditioner. You are giving them the right temperature, but from a distance.
But don't they know? Ask
you
yourself,
see,
don't they know that this is the honeymoon phase?
It's a fair point. They do the same, but in a different way. So during the courtship period, this woman is always on point. Hair from Brazil, nails from Peru, teeth from. So you see, they are giving you what they believe you want to have.
No, I need to know this.
But the minute the relationship becomes established, she brings out her jogging pants. She brings out exactly some hairnet that she inherited from her ancestors, and then even the scent changes. But you see, the point I'm trying to make is that everybody sends out a representative. Everybody sends out a representative during the courtship.
Yes.
And because perhaps women also raise the bar when it comes to expectation. I don't think they should lower the bar, by the way. I think it should stay high. But men become conscious of the fact that a woman expects so much from us. So they feel they have to live up to it by, sending a representative.
Okay, so Nanaya Boating says, interesting, I think both men and women are vulnerable to making mistakes, but women sometimes do overreact when they're angry, and it tends to put men off. My candid opinion, though. You can tweet it as #JoySMS. John, let me come to you for a second on what Kojo was saying about the representatives and then the change in persona. The thing about this change in persona, speaking from a woman's point of view, is it's a certain sort of, okay, you put in this much effort to get me. Now that you have me, you can't be bothered. So there's a feeling of being taken for granted. Because
By who? By the woman?
Yes. So we sometimes feel like you're taking us for granted because...
But you took us for granted.
Oh, relax. Really. Because, now you have us. And so you've relaxed. But for most women that I know, we keep doing the things that you want. So you'll still come home and expect us to do this and do that, and we'll still do it. But now you want your alone time, and now you don't want to talk as much. Now you want to, do this. You'd rather be on your phone. You'd rather not have conversations. But these are not things that you started with. And so suddenly, how are we then supposed to slip into this space of, okay, well, you have me now, so you're not going to put in as much effort?
But you two, when we met you were dressing nice.
We are still dressing nice.
Hey.
I disagree.
No, I beg.
Look, right now,
any man who breaks up with his girlfriend today, if you break up with your girlfriend today, tomorrow she's a different person.
Yes.
Or in a few months.
Suddenly her representative is back.
Yes,
she's back.
Dressing nice. No, that black hairnet. That black
I don't
one.
have one.
It disappears.
So I can't relate.
That black hairnet.
I don't.
Some of them, they look like the Bob Marley one. No? A lot of hair under. when we met you, it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like
It
that.
wasn't like that. So we are saying that you still have to keep up, so that they
Are you saying if we keep up, then you will keep up?
Yes.
Really?
Well, to be fair, me, I'll say the opposite. I'll say you have to understand that things will change.
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, so that even from the beginning you have that expectation, because look, nobody can keep up an appearance forever.
George, would you agree?
Not totally, because there's a scientific part to this discussion that we've probably not even considered. You see, we're different people. And the psychologists will tell you about personality traits and all that. The phlegmatics, all of them, the cholerics, and you name it. You know. And I think all these are behavioral changes. And people need to understand the people that they are living with. That's also key. I mean, you may not be able to go deep into the science of the personality that you're living with and understand his traits and everything and all that. But I think by observation, if you spend a lot of time together, and that's one other thing, I think sometimes women generally are more emotional than men. I stand to be corrected.
No, you
there are
don't-
some
you don't
men
have
who
to be
also get
corrected.
very emotional, but
John says
women
you don't have
generally.
to be corrected.
Women are generally a lot more emotional than men, and I think sometimes they allow their emotions to lead them to certain reactions that also put the men off in a way.
Okay, let's talk about
You
emotional
understand?
reactions which puts men off.
You know, look, I know situations where a guy and a girl had a serious fight that led to a breakup, simply because the girl's complaint was that every time they are driving and the guy sees another girl, he's looking. I said, you should give glory to God. It means your man is not gay. Number one.
I know.
You're driving with your man in the same vehicle. He sees a girl walk down the street. Maybe her curves are like this water bottle, and he is looking. And sometimes you have to,
I mean, obviously, he's not.
and it became a big fight. I said, you're not happy. Your man was looking at a woman and not at another man.
Let me not cut you. The best remedy is that when you see that beautiful figure going, just tap your wife and say, hey, look at the girl's body. It's nice, oh. Then you all are looking. Then you appreciate. That's
Then you finish.
Aren't there easier ways to die?
You say, hey, that girl's body looks like
A friend of mine said the best way to look at it is, anymore, doesn't she look like that's your cousin?
The easiest way to look is actually look ahead of the girl. So that by the time, if you are moving, you look ahead of the girl. By the time you get to where the girl is, your eyes are already in that direction.
Yes.
So that by the time,
The man
Experience.
by the time that camera
I have a friend who, when he sees a nice girl and his girlfriend, he just puts the camera on his phone. So he, cheers the camera. So he's just looking into his phone. You think, he's on Facebook, but he did pop the girl.
you know the best way to call a girl if you want to see if she'll come. No. Just be on your phone and be like, come. You come. You say come. So if she sees that, she comes. If she doesn't come,
Let
then
me
you're on your
describe to you what EL is doing. He has his phone to his ears and he's pretending like he's on the phone, but he's gesturing to come.
You know.
So if she doesn't come, your face
You're
is
on your
high
phone.
because you're on your phone and you're
to find out that emotional thing and I think women really need to learn to manage some of those, because sometimes it really puts men off. I mean, a lady friend once told me that, look, she cannot date a man who many women aren't interested in. It means you're up to nothing.
I tend
If
to
you
feel
are a
the same way
guy
about
and
women.
girls aren't interested in you,
I
if
can't
you are
date a
if you are married
nobody
and
else
other
wants.
women aren't interested in your husband, if you are a husband and other men aren't interested in your wife, you probably don't have a product worth fighting for. Because look, demand and supply analysis will tell you that price only goes up if there's an increase in demand and supply is limited.
Thank you.
Hey, demand and supply matters have come in.
So if EL's girlfriend is not worried that she could lose EL because a lot of other girls are after EL because he's hot, not because he's tall.
The haters have arrived.
Why bring height?
No, them is in front. Because I'm also sick and tired of hearing Ghanaian women say, "Oh, me, yes, what kind of man do you like? Oh, tall and handsome." Foolish. Who should come after this?
Okay,
should come after
so
the
we're
rest
going
of
to open the phone lines in a little bit. It's 0302-216-541, 0302-216-541. And we're asking the questions, what mistakes do women make in a relationship? But the conversation continues right after we take these messages. And this show is dedicated to you so that you can better enjoy your jolliment and to create lasting relationships. We're asking this morning and talking about the mistakes that women make. And gosh, so far we've explored so many, and I'll be telling you all about them at the end of the show, just in case you missed any of them. But I'm coming to you, John. I want to know who I and your constituents.
Yeah,
we want to know.
yes.
We want to know, what are the top 3 mistakes for you that women make in a relationship that actually cause them to lose men that actually love them?
Okay, I'll go straight to the point. Number 1, false accusations. Don't accuse us falsely. Yenye. Don't say that your instincts tell you that you are cheating or this and this. You want to be very inquisitive.
So wait, the false accusations,
Yeah.
is it accusations without evidence?
The evidence might be there, but that's not the right evidence. They are misusing the evidence. No, you are
does that
misusing. You
mean?
have
You
caught me, but you have not.
Yeah,
Abuse of evidence.
Yeah, abuse of evidence.
You've caught me, but you've not caught me well. It doesn't mean that. Yes, it doesn't mean that. So that's the thing.
Let it be undeniable.
Yes,
Yeah.
use the evidence properly. That's the
No
first.
escape.
No escape. If you want to catch me red-handed. Catch me, catch him. Don't half catch me and say you caught me. No. The second one is
Your catching game.
yeah, up your catching game. The second one is you are beg. Don't talk plenty. You talk. Go straight to the point. Oh, John, this. Finish. Within 2 minutes, we finish talking. Men don't like talking plenty. The third one is give us.
But you can talk to your boys.
That be boys.
different.
We dey talk boys. We can talk 1 hour, 2 hour, but women, them are talking be different. I don't want to say they nag. You understand? When I'm talking to my boys, we don't nag. We talk, we communicate. But when women, they nag. They go on and on and on and on and on. And you said the thing and you keep on saying it again.
Because we are not sure if you've heard.
We've heard.
Okay.
Not to jump on John's spot, but I think there's a difference between communicating in a conversation setting and communicating in we have to talk setting. I think what he means is that we have to talk setting should be simple and short.
Yes.
There's a lot of moments in a relationship, times in a relationship where you have to have a serious conversation about this or that, and you have to. That one, I think, is what he's talking about. It has to be nice, precise, and concise.
Yeah. Straight to
Nice,
the point.
precise, concise.
Yes. And then the last one is just give us space. Nice, precise, concise. Then the last one is just give us space. Men, we need a lot of space. We need space to think. We need space to be ourselves. We need that space. It's not like we are doing anything bad, but we just need that space in the house to just go and be there in one corner, maybe on our phone or listening to radio or TV or something, and that's it. We just need that space. It's as simple as that.
Okay. So your top 3: false accusations, don't talk plenty, and give us space.
That's all.
All right. So if you're listening, those are some of the mistakes that you're making if you're not doing these 3. EL, what are your top 3?
Men and women are very different, you know. I think one sex is more emotional than the other. I think that's
One
basic.
sex?
One
Side of the
genre.
gender.
It
We
sounded
think
like one.
one sex or
like
2
one
sex
round.
and 3 sex. No 1 round.
Just wanted to be sure.
One gender.
Okay, people.
The way you talk.
Seven. Let me. But for me personally, I think, from my experience, I think pacing is very important.
Okay.
My boy Kojo mentioned in the beginning something about who does the chasing, and he mentioned also that it's desirable for him to be also pursued by a woman. For me personally, any woman who comes at me with that type of energy, with that type of aggression, with that type of vibe is immediately undesirable to me. I'm not attracted to a woman who pursues me actively. If woman can chase you like every day, your phone top, this, that, to me it's actually not.
Okay.
Yeah, for me personally. So, if we end up together, I think pacing is something that I take very seriously. I don't like to move too fast.
Okay.
And as a result of that, I don't enjoy rapid change.
Okay.
You fall in love with a woman, you you decide to be with her because of a set of reasons. Maybe you are this way today. Tomorrow you are something totally different. Maybe you change in a certain kind of way, not to sound harsh, but maybe you gain a ton of weight in the next week. It's something that I can't.
It's too much
personally
change.
can't
Unless,
handle.
of course, you're with a woman who has more than one personality.
They always have
Who's like bipolar.
Women have
No. What did they talk? They always have multiple personalities.
Yes.
Women. Yeah, continue. I beg.
I think, and that's my second one. Lastly, I think trying to change your man. You know, I think most women are attracted to bad boys, and they're attracted to bad boys because they want to take him up as a project. I'll change him. I'll make him into the kind of man who I want to.
Never.
And I don't think it ever happens that way in any setting. Men are always going to be men. There's always compromise in a relationship, and we learn to compromise. We learn to change with each other and evolve with each other. But for a woman to take it upon herself as a mission to transform or to change a man by whatever means, I think for me it doesn't work, and I think it's a big mistake.
Okay, and the phone lines are open, so 0302216541. Call us and let's talk. Now, somebody sent in a message asking, why do men have a problem when their girlfriends have a lot of friends? So, George, just after your top 3 mistakes, if you can hit us back on that one.
That one, it's actually one of my top, points that I listed down. That women don't worry when a lot of other women are after your man. It means he's a good product. It means he's got something good. So just find a way to make it yours and own it forever. Protect your territory. But if no women are interested in your man, don't think it's because he's too holy next to Jesus. He's a useless product. Go for another man. If nobody wants what you have, it is not worth it. That is very important, and women have to know this. Men have needs, like I said earlier, and all you have to do is listen. If you listen, you would understand. And you ought to be interested in what would make him a better person. Be interested in his interest and help him become a bigger, better version of his own self. And trust me, he will cherish you forever. And we need to manage the unrealistic expectations. And all that falls into the fact that everybody needs to have a life. Nobody is responsible for your happiness except you. Have a life. If you have a life and you are able to, like Sarkodie has said in the track, the ability to compliment someone without feeling insecure. If you are able to, build yourself up to a certain level, have faith and confidence in yourself, your ability to stand on your own 2 feet, to be you, to be happy without that person, whatever that person brings on would be just an added, addition that makes it all the better.
Okay, I have Chris calling from Nsawam. Chris, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Anima. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So what are the mistakes that you've come across?
Well, I'll go to the mistake, but I think that, God intentionally looked at men that we were sorrowful in the garden and realized we need a woman. And so he gave us a beautiful Eve, and that started a story. And so every man needs a woman, irrespective of what, and we need them. They don't need us, as my colleagues are saying. We need women to be happy in life because we're sorrowful without them. Now, some mistakes that women make is when they want to please a man, and so they lose themselves, and then they want to, act differently than themselves, or they want to give you another image. And you can't hide your true image and then act another way. I want my wife to wear her wig any style she wants, I want her to be original. She should be herself, and I love her the way she is. And I try as much as possible to make her happy as much as possible, take her places and all that. And so for me, the big deal is try and be yourself, try and love yourself, try and appreciate yourself, and also try and help your man if he has weaknesses. Help. Don't criticize, because you are not there to criticize. You are not there to pull him down. You are not there to nag. You are there to support him, because that is their job, to actually help their men to become good people. And so find ways of making him happy, find ways of making him great.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you for that. We're moving on to Kweku from Dansoman. Quakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. What are some of the mistakes that you've come across?
All right. as my brother said, I've also not been in a serious relationship. But on the non-serious
Wait,
side,
which brother here hasn't been in a serious relationship?
George said that. George.
You mean before but he's in one now, so okay.
Yeah, so that's what he said.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not married, so I'm following his footsteps.
Okay.
But actually, with a few I've noticed is most ladies hate the truth. They hate to be told the truth. So I'm walking with you, I see a beautiful lady, I just take a look at it, and you get angry. It's the truth I've told you. I admire ladies, and they will hate it. And some also do not see the opportunities in guys, or they don't help to build up other guys. What they want, they are coming to take. They don't add. So when a guy notices that thing, the guy will pull off.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that. Moving on to Mickey from Akosombo. Mickey, good morning.
Good morning, Ellen.
Hi. What are some of the mistakes that you've run away from?
Oh, not really, but by listening to the program, I just want to chip in some solutions. The first one I see women's mistake is women nag a lot. And then that's take them to not to be patient with their life. God created women to be submissive to their men. Like the first caller said that every man needs a woman is life. But I think that once you become a naggy person, you will not get a patient for your relationship. And that is the most important thing. And young men who have now just started family, I have a plan that I use. God wants us to have a set of mindset when you create a family. I have something I call Sunday platform meeting. And we don't have time. Family don't have time, like they are saying. It won't help. A time to discuss family issues and put every issue on the table. Then it can take everything.
And it looks like I've lost that call. They're moving on to Prince from Kumasi. Prince, good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Some of the mistakes that you've encountered.
Okay, my problem I have discovered from my beloved nowadays is that she is choleric. But initially, she wasn't like that. We were nice. We were sharing, joy together. She gives me more ideas that I can, proceed in life to be successful. But now, she's not like that. And it baffles my mind. Should I quit the relationship or I should try and change her? And my second point is she is with a friend whereby I have warned her several, and she's not giving me much attention about that. So I'm confused and I don't know what to do. So I'm asking you guys, what should I do? Thank you.
Thank you for that. And we have Amma on the phone lines. Amma, good morning.
Good morning, anymore.
Okay, so what are you contributing this morning?
Yeah, so you see, the men who are saying they want their space, they want time and all of that, ask them what they use that time for. These married men keep calling other single ladies when they say they want time to do stuff. Why do they do that? You are in the house with your wife and then you want to go and hide in one corner and call another girl. Why? I really want to know why.
Look, Amma really wants to know why. Amma, I'm going to get answers for you this morning, starting with John. John, why?
We want space.
Or
No.
You're either texting other women or looking at other women's pictures on Instagram or Facebook.
Not at all. Look, the truth of the matter is I'm in different WhatsApp groups with all the gentlemen here. When I get home in the evening, I chat with them. Those are the people I chat with, not girls. So if I say I want my space, I just want my space to have my alone time. That's all. It's not like calling other women. But I could have called the other women before I got home. How would you have known?
But
Right,
I
okay.
think she
look.
was speaking from a place of pain. And that is one thing we have to realize that, look, let's face it, some of us are also quite irresponsible. I mean, we cannot deny that fact that what she said could also be true. That there are men that actually do ask for space. They will tell you, I'll be in the office, or I'll be with the guys watching football, or I'll be here when really they are somewhere else. That's also something we have to look. And the gentlemen that do that really ought to, stop it.
I would like to ask you guys, because I have my own definition for this. What's your definition of cheating? Is chatting with another woman on your phone in your personal space classified in your homes as in your household as cheating?
I think whatever it is that you do that you have to hide from your spouse with another person is cheating.
That's
End
the
of story.
point.
I mean,
That's the point. If
you have to hide it, it must be
agreed that look, I'm just going to take an hour in my den or in my personal space to do whatever I want to do, and you know that you have given me that space. We've agreed on that. Whatever I do with that time, in the context of like who I talk to or who I'm discussing whatever with. How do you know it's cheating if I'm speaking to maybe this girl I met yesterday by the roadside and I took her number and we are talking about whatever? Is that cheating?
The thing, though, is when you're in a committed relationship, why are you
You're
taking
not
the
supposed-
numbers of people who are walking by the roadside?
No, but anyway, you see, sometimes it is not. It depends on what you do.
Maybe she
It
has
depends
a
on
big
what
voice.
you do.
In
You
the-
understand?
Maybe she has
in
what?
the context of marriage, you're not allowed to take any other woman.
Anyway, Trigmatic.
That's what you're saying.
Okay, people, Trigmatic is joining us on the line. Good morning, Trig.
Good morning, anyone.
Hi, how are you? Good to have you with us.
Same here. I'm fine. And greetings to all the guys in the studio.
Yeah.
What's up?
I do, Chade.
Okay. So for you, what are some of the mistakes that you've come across?
Well, I would not necessarily call them mistakes, but maybe things we easily, or the ladies we easily overlook. One is taking themselves for granted, because once a woman takes her own self for granted, she takes everything around her for granted, including you. Especially when they expect that you take things about them and around them seriously, yet when it's your turn, they feel like, are you a guy, especially when a man is giving subtle messages. Women don't think that is important. They need to decode. But when it's them, then it's the role of a man to understand their actions and mannerisms. That's number one. Number two is in some cases women take the sexual needs of men for granted. And mostly this happens when there's marriage. When they think that, Charlie, I'm tired. I just got back home, and then you do it quite often, and then you realize the person starts talking to somebody, or they stop asking for it, and you don't think it's alarming. That's another thing. Another thing also is not always getting to be on a balanced form when it comes to communication. It's like you say, we want you to tell me the truth, yet when it hits you, because of your reactions, now the man decides not to say anything, or they only go by your flow, and that's a very dangerous thing, because you want the truth, you want the person to communicate, you want the person to open up. Yet when that comes, you have a way of reacting, and most often men may not say it, but they hate to always start an argument or a nag. So they tend not to talk about certain things.
Yeah,
and they'll go out and find solace like elsewhere. I'm not justifying that. Most will. Some will not. Some will recoil. And often when men recoil, ladies communicate that as they are doing something out there. But you'll be surprised that sometimes they may not come back home and they are only just with their boys discussing the things happening in their homes or probably happening to them. Some may not talk about it, but they'll rather hang out with their guys and wait till late, because they know when they come at that time, you'll be asleep. And they make sure they wake up very early in the morning to leave you, because they're running away from the nag or running away from the trouble. I mean, these are the few things I have noticed. So, and all ties in taking things for granted.
All right. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Trigmatic. Very, very interesting points there. Now, the 7th West African Clean Energy and Environmental Festival is taking place from the 6th to the 8th of November 2019 at the Accra International Conference Center. And this year, Wasi goes greener with interactive events on clean energy, water, and circular economy. WASI 19 is organized by the Delegation of German Industry and Commerce in Ghana and supported by the German Development Corporation. Entry is free. For further information, please visit www.wacee.net or call 0242 438 760 0242 438 760.
All right, now November is Customer Service Month for Glyco, and your friends there are poised to offer you the very best of service, as always. Thanks to you, their supportive customers. They've been adjudged CIMG Legacy Brand at the 2019 CIMG Awards, and so they've also picked up the Innovative Insurance Company of the Year Award at the 5th Ghana Finance and Innovation Awards 2019. At Glyco, they always remember that they are at Glyco because of the trust you have in them. So they continue to provide you with insurance and financial solutions that get you back on your feet in times of uncertainty. Call them on 020 2222 113 or 45426 for all of your insurance and financial solutions and services. Glyco indeed cares, and they cushion you for life.
And Christmas is for wishes. Thanks to the Republic Bank 100 Days of Christmas, you can make a wish and have it come true with a Republic Christmas Bank loan. The Republic Bank Christmas loan is quick, easy, and affordable with super fast turnaround time. You too can make your wish come true this Christmas with Republic Christmas loan. Visit any of our 42 branches nationwide to access a loan. This Christmas, let Republic Bank make it happen for you. Call or WhatsApp 055 654 3212 or apply online via republicghana.com. Terms and conditions apply. Republic Bank, we are the one for you. And this morning, these are the mistakes that women make. Emotional reactions. Watch your emotional reactions. And when he tells you he doesn't like something, he actually doesn't like it. So stop it. Don't pursue. Don't try to move the relationship too fast. Don't try to change your man. Things that men want: food, sex, and silence. Don't falsely accuse, or you can only accuse when you have proper evidence, not half-baked evidence. Recognize needs that men have. Don't talk plenty. Give them space. Thank you very much, Mr. John Dumelo, EL, George Quaye. I've been doing this with Kojo Yankson this morning. Join us again on Monday morning. This has been the Super Morning Show. Have an amazing, amazing day.
What can 20 Ghana cedis buy you? Airtime. Taxi or